Welcome to 147. I'm going to challenge you to invest in yourself today. Stay with us.
This is the Elevate Construction Podcast, delivering remarkable content for workers, leaders, and companies in construction wanting to take their next step. Get ready to step out of your comfort zone with Jason Schroeder as he encourages you to do better, live a remarkable life, and expect more. Let's go.
Welcome, everyone. Again, this is not just a simple saying or a repeat and rote thing that I say when I say that I hope you are doing well. I really hope that you feel that these podcasts are giving you a positive feedback loop. I want to be a positive voice in your life. I've told you this before, that there are folks that I wake up and I had a dream about them, and they're being negative with me, or they're yelling at me, or they're just saying, you can't do it, you can't do it. And my brain has recorded that as a script in my mind of something to play when it wants to, ping me down a little bit and take me to lower levels of happiness. That little voice in our mind, which is always wrong, by the way, is always trying to tear me down, right? The positive voices in my life, I've had really nice positive dreams of encouragement and memories of encouragement and positive voices. I can think of people in my life that have been positive voices. And I hope that me on this podcast and the people on this podcast, the people I interview, my wife, Brandon Montero, Spencer, I hope that we are positive voices encouraging you and telling you that you can. This isn't some kind of cat poster where we're like, oh, you can do anything you want, but you can do what you need to be doing, and you are worth it. And I hope that our encouragement helps you along your journey, and that we're not one of those people or voices that are tearing you down. And I hope that you stop listening to those negative voices that say you can't, that you're not smart enough, that you don't have the money, that you don't have the experience, that you don't this, that you don't that, right? I hope that we are a positive voice that can tell you that you can do it, because that's the absolute truth. And today we're going to talk about investing in yourself and investing in training. And I really hope you take this seriously, because there are people out there that don't believe in training. They don't believe in leadership. They don't believe in personal development. All they want is technical. Let's go, look at the details here. Let's put up a boring PowerPoint training. Let's do this. And they ignore the motivation and the sheer beauty of pushing humans past their comfort level and into their learning zone, and allowing them to experience some of these wonderful things that will make for a better, more remarkable life. Please be wary. Please be cautious around people like that, because you deserve better and you need to invest in yourself. And so let me tell you a couple of things by way of introduction. And this isn't bragging or anything else, but I want to shock you right now. I want to just jolt you, shock you right now about how drastic it is between where you could be for training and where you are now, and how much you actually deserve it, which is a lot. You deserve training. I personally, this year, have spent around $25,000 to $30,000 in training for myself to sharpen the axe, sharpen the saw. That's a terminology that Stephen Covey coined when it comes to getting better at what you do. Investing in yourself, your training, your mind, right? I've spent about 30 grand. Next year, I personally plan to spend more than that, 35, 40, maybe even 50,000 a year. And I will continue every year to spend that amount of money on myself. And yes, I have 11 kids. I have to support a family. I'm not super rich. And I put that investment in myself because it makes a difference. Now, if any of you want to go out there and waste your money and sue me because I've given you bad advice, just stop. You have to make your own decisions, and you have to go make your own life. I'm giving you data. I personally spend that much money. And it started when I first hired on with DPR. They had a really nice, I don't know if they have it anymore, but they had a nice program where they would allow you to spend up by authorization, spend up to about $5,000 a year in training. And I've told you this before. And so that went into the next year, 5,000. Next year I spent 7. Next year I spent 10. And then this year I'm all the way up to 30. Next year I'm going to spend 50, because the return on investment is so much more than what you would get on a house or the stock market or anything else. Your return on investment in investing and training and sharpening your mind is one of the best things that you can do. And so this year, I've done Power Communication through Rapport Leadership International. I've signed up and my family for the Unleash the Power Within with Tony Robbins. I've done the Breakthrough Safety course with Rapport Leadership International. I've done the Robbins Madonna's coaching training that takes you through and is a certification training where you are able to professionally coach people. I've done the Shay Robottom LinkedIn training this year, which has been fantastic for video creation and LinkedIn and social media and marketing. I've done the Kappa Pro membership, the series and all the trainings that they offer last year. And so like that right there, I'm not going to give you individual prices, but that's about $25,000. And in addition to books, the book a week that I read, sometimes 2 books a week, all of the Audible, and I pay for the Audible subscription myself because I own that. I own that knowledge. I earn that for myself. Been reading books like Calumet K or This Is Lean, books about proposals, books about how to start a business, books on IPD, and on and on and on. And last year it was Leadership Breakthrough 1 and Leadership Breakthrough 2 and courses about masterminds and training and on and on and on. So I do these things so that I can share with others because that's my core purpose. But any kind of sharpening that you do, any kind of training that you do will make you better in your role and will have a return on investment, even if it's just your personal enjoyment. And so that's my little introduction. And what I'm excited about in life is that there's so much more. We could spend $150,000 a year on personal development training and still not even scratch the surface. So when I go to some of these trainings and I'm like, that was life-changing, that's 1/100,000th of what is out there that can be consumed, that you can learn. And I love learning. That's heaven for me. That's what I'm excited about. And I just really think that I know ignorance is disease. Ignorance is anger. Ignorance is bad moods. Ignorance is bad relationships. Ignorance is stress. Ignorance is working too much. Ignorance doesn't do anything good. Ignorance is not bliss. What is bliss is education. In fact, the other day I was having a conversation with my wife, and usually I mess it up. I just completely mess it up. And I'm like, here's my advice. And she's like, don't try and solve my problems. I don't need your advice. But this time I was more wise about something. And I was like, well, what about this? What about this? And she was like, oh my gosh, Jason, you just really helped me. And the first thought I had was, that came from that coaching program. That came from that book the other day. The more knowledge I gain, the more gooder, the more gooder I am with people. I'm just kidding. The better I am with people to the point that I'm actually useful now. Like I'm useful because I'm learning these things. And the first thought that came to me was it's because of training. And so those are the things that I'm excited about right now. Also, one little note. I promised that the audio version of Elevating Construction Superintendents would be out by Wednesday. So I'm a little bit behind. So check this out. The paperback version is ready for Elevating Construction Superintendents, and it's out. I've already ordered myself 20 copies so I can give it out. The Kindle version is there, and in fact, I just did another update to improve the table of contents and some formatting things because Kindle gets a little funny. I just did an update to that tonight. So you can order through Amazon the Kindle version, and you can get the paperback version. The Audible version, it takes 30 working days to go through their review process. So what I'm going to do is create a series, if it's possible. I'm not going to get myself in trouble again and commit to something that I don't know about, but if it's possible, I'm going to get a podcast series that's paid, because we have to charge the price of the book. To recoup costs and things like that for editors and other things. But there's a paid podcast series where we can upload the audio files and you can access it on your apps until January, where you can just download that from Audible. So that's what I'm going to do in the meantime. I apologize for the false advertising there. But yeah, I'm so excited about it because this book is fantastic. In fact, and don't tell my wife I said this because she'll probably kill me, but she was like, I was reading some of the concepts in the book, and it's really helped me to figure out how I need to stabilize things at home. She said in the book, defense is stagnant. We're never gonna win if we're in the defensive position, and that's where we are right now. We need to make some changes. And I'm like, you learned something from the book, and my wife is so much smarter than me. I just love opportunities where I can add value, because really, I married up, and she's a fantastic lady, and all of our success comes from her. But anyway, so that's my introduction. Sorry for taking so long. I just like to talk to you sometimes because I want to connect. Anyway, here's some really positive feedback about, or basically from one of our listeners. And he said, "Hi, Jason, just wanted to say thanks. Your content via articles and the podcast," and he said, "I'm on 13 at the moment, are awesome. I'm from..." Actually, I'm not going to tell you where he's from, but I'm from out of the country, and I work as a project manager out here in construction and in lean construction. And lean construction has only been looked at over here for about the last 2 years. And I laughed when you said in the USA you guys have been using it for over 10 years. And actually people other than me have been using it for 20 years over here. But anyway, he said, "I rolled a lean principle daily huddle with my team, staff, and subcontractors over a month ago, talking about waste and improvement areas and recording plan versus actual work. And everyone was really buying in. It's great. Thanks again. Really appreciate what you're doing." So you know who you are that sent that feedback. I really appreciate you. We love positive feedback. We got some more reviews on the Apple podcast app. I really appreciate that. More comments, more reviews. I love it. We also got some people reviewing the podcast, and I'm doing their player cards. And so I think this is Thursday. Yeah. This is the last day for you to rate or review the podcast, and I'll give you your personal player card. So really good stuff. So let me know if you want to be in on that. So here's a sponsor segment. Today's podcast is sponsored by Vplanner. So, and actually this isn't just some kind of rote thing. Like I personally love Vplanner. Vplanner is an amazing application, and the folks over there, especially Samir, they're fantastic. They're attentive. They're helpful. They're big shots, meaning they're doing great things. I'm a little starstruck with them, but they'll personally answer my questions, which is super important to me. You don't get a rep, you don't get a third party. Personally, they help you out. I've used this program for the last 5 years, and I've loved it. I used it as a super, as a general super, as a director, as a field ops director, and pre-construction. If you want an application that can be used for CPM and Last Planner and a little bit of Scrum and Takt all in one, this is your application. I think it's fantastic. So you can reach out to them at www.vplanner.app, and the folks over there are fantastic. And if you want me to personally introduce you, just email me at jasons@elevateconstructionist.com. But love me some Vplanner. They're our sponsor for today. So here's some conflict. You are not investing in yourself. That's the conflict. Get a little bit mad at me. Get fired up, because we're going to talk about it right now. Let me tell you a quick story. The first certification training that I did was the AGC CM BIM certification. And I think it was like $2,000 or something. I paid for that, flew to California, did it, and I fell in love with training. And the one that I did after that was the DBIA certification. I don't keep these up, meaning you won't see at the end of my name CM BIM, DBIA, CM Lean, and all of these other, what do they call that? The credentials at the end of my name, because I don't take the time to keep them up, because I know that. And I'm constantly learning lean, but I'm not going to waste my time. And if you do, it's not a big deal, but I'm not going to waste my time logging the hours to keep 5 or 6 different certifications up. I'm going to go on to the next one and the next one and implement them and share these things through podcasts and lean videos. So that's why you don't see it. One time my name was Jason Schroeder, CM BIM, DBIA, CM Lean, and there was one other one, or one or two other ones. I can't even remember, but I love these things, and I love putting that credential at the end of my name and just being proud of that learning for the moment. But anyway, started with CM BIM, and I got hooked on certification training. So my question to you is, what is the first certification training you're going to do? What's the first series of books you're going to read? What's the virtual live training that you're going to do? What's the next thing for you? What YouTube videos are you checking out right now? Let's get excited about it, because here's the principle. And I talked to a team about this today, and it was fantastic. And that's what drove what we really want to talk about today. And it's Thursday, and this content pertains to project managers specifically. So a shout out to you guys. First of all, know your red zone. And I've talked about this before, but what are you good at? What can you get paid for? And what do you enjoy doing? You can figure most of that stuff out through personality profiles, prayer, reflection, books, things like that. But here's the problem. Most people in operations and construction, they're like, oh, I want to be a general superintendent. I want to be a project director or a project executive. Well, somebody told you that was the measure of success. That might not be who you are. How many people, and I've seen many, get to a position, and they get there and they're miserable. And they're like, I don't enjoy this. Well, how much nicer would it have been for us to have figured that out early on in our career? What's our red zone? What do we want to do? Where are we headed? And if you know that, then you know what training you need. You've been through performance evaluations. You've set goals. You know what your weaknesses are. You know what those next skills are. And if you need help with that, I can help you. And you can look on FMI. You can do a number of different things to research where you need to go. And so here's my question. What training are you going to do in 2021 that will get you to where you want to go? What are you going to do? What certification? What series? What online learning? What LinkedIn learning? What virtual class? What online class? What do you want to do? What's going to be scheduled? If you're struggling with typing, why not do that typing class? If you're struggling with writing, why don't you go do a course that will get you to where you write better? If you're struggling with lean, go do one of these wonderful lean courses. Go to Lean Core, AGC Lean course. There's a number of different places you can go. You're struggling with contracts and delivery methods and integration. Go do the DBIA certification. If you want to be better in life, more energy, go visit Tony Robbins. There's a training for you out there. And here's the key. What I want you to do after this podcast is think about what do you need? Let's pick 2 or 3 things to advance your career. And I want you to write that down. And I want you to do an hour's worth of research to find out what training is out there. And if you need help from me or a mentor, just reach out to whomever and find out how much it costs, when it's happening, schedule it. And I want you to do that. Schedule it first, right? Put it on your Outlook calendar, make sure it fits, and then find out how much it is and find a way to pay for it. Go talk to your project manager. Go talk to your director, your GS, or whoever, your employer, and say, hey, this is $2,500, or this is $3,000, or it's $500, or whatever. I want to do this. I will learn it. Then I will come back and teach it, and I will learn more about it, and I will implement these things. And just go do it. And if you're a PM on a job, why are you not paying for this for you and your team? You know how to code it. You know how to get it in the non-reimbursables. You know how to figure out how on your project site to get this done. Why are you not coding these things? Why are you not investing in yourself? And if people are like, well, I don't really have the money. And this is what I told the team today. $2,500, we'll spend 10 times that on freaking printer paper and printer costs on a project site. Go pay for this training and invest in you and in your mind and pay for it. Just get it, because that investment will be better than real estate. It will be better than the stock market. It will be better than anything that you're currently doing to invest in your own mind. And the current condition is you are not investing in yourself. I can't believe that people downplay training and investment in personal development, professional development like they do. Please go get this for yourself and enjoy it and get addicted to it, and just tell yourself, I'm going to spend $5,000 a year, or I'm going to spend $2,500 a year. I'm going to spend $10,000 a year on investing in myself, and just go do it. So here's the challenge. Identify your red zone, identify what you need, find the training that's remarkable that you can get excited about, schedule it, pay for it, get it done. You know how to code it. On we go.
Please join us next time in elevating the entire construction experience for workers, leaders, and companies coast to coast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to share with your construction colleagues and help us spread the word by rating, subscribing, and leaving a review on your preferred podcast listening platform. We really appreciate it. We'll catch you next time on the Elevate Construction Podcast.